Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. Well, in this week's guitar lesson, we're going to take a look at an original composition that's played in drop D tuning. Now, drop D tuning is when you take your low 6th string, or your E string if you're in standard tuning, and you drop it down to a D. And it's really easy to do. All you do is you find the D string on the 4th string, and you play that, and then you match it on the 6th string. You can hear how I just tuned it down so that it's now an octave lower than this. And what drop D tuning allows you to do is it opens up some new possibilities. You can play a full D chord now, all 6 strings, but it gives you that low end kind of a drone effect where you can kind of, especially if you're playing fingerstyle, you can use your thumb to kind of alternate between the 6th string and the 4th string, and then you can fill in some leads and some rhythms. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this lesson. I'm going to show you how to do that, and hopefully you'll be able to walk away from this with the knowledge of being able to do your own improvising with this technique. If you want to download the tablature and watch the part 2 video, so this will be split into 2 parts, you're going to want to go to ActiveMelody.com and look for EP085. And in this video, we're going to take a look at the first half of what I played in the intro. But if you want to watch the second half and then get the tablature, you're going to want to go to Active Melody. One last thing I should point out is you'll notice I'm wearing this NCGPA hat and t-shirt. This was sent to me by Donald Carroll, who's one of the Active Melody site members. NCGPA is the North Carolina Guitar Players Association. And so he was nice enough to send me this, and I think he said that they made me an honorary member, which is very cool, so thank you to the organization. But I just wanted to, since he was nice enough to send me the shirt and hat, I wanted to wear it for the audience and let anyone in the North Carolina area know. If you're interested, I don't have his URL in front of me for the website, but go to Google and look up North Carolina Guitar Player Association and you'll see their website. So I wanted to put that plug in for you, Donald. So, alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the first half. Alright, so I've switched guitars for this. I wanted to use a guitar that has the fret markers on it. Makes it a little easier to learn. And the first thing that I mentioned in the intro is we have to get into drop D tuning. It's very easy to do. You can do it quickly and painlessly, hopefully. But you're going to play this 4th string, which is the D, if you're in standard tuning. And then you're going to take the 6th string and match that note. Watch. Hear how they matched? And you may have to play around with a little to get it right on. Now that way, you're in drop D tuning. You can see it's real easy to do. You see a lot of live players do that when they're playing. If you ever see somebody adjusting this string, that's what they're doing. They're going into drop D for a certain song. And if you can't do it by ear, if it just doesn't sound right, then you can use a tuner. And if you don't have a tuner, if you have a smartphone or an iPad, there's a bunch of tuner apps, so you can get an app and actually just play it right into your phone, and you don't need any special cables or anything, and you can actually tune your guitar that way too and find drop D tuning. But that's what it should sound like. What's nice is when you play a D chord now, you can play all 6 strings. And there's a lot of famous songs that are written in drop D tuning. Neil Young uses it a lot, for example, for stuff like that. So, okay, now that we're in drop D tuning, let's talk through the rhythm part. So the first little thing we're going to learn is, so we're going to get that down. Now I want you to notice my thumb first. I'm gonna just point that out. Watch what my thumb is doing when I play that. See how it's just right on the beat if we take out everything else? It's just as you would tap your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the thumb is the driver in this thing. It's just like it's like a bass player, just playing that one D note. And the first thing we're going to learn, so I just wanted to point that out. Oh, one other thing to point out is normally if we're playing Chet style or Chet Atkins or Merle Travis, you're using your thumb to cover the 6th string, the 5th string, and the 4th string. So your thumb is kind of alternating, and that's a pretty standard way of playing fingerstyle. And this, we're going to let our thumb just hang out here on the 6th string, and we're going to use our pointer finger at times on the 4th string. So it's a little bit of a difference, and actually I think you'll find this to be easier. This is more of a beginner fingerstyle because some people get lost in trying to have their thumb bounce around while doing other things. So this will be, I think, easier for some of you. But just wanted to point out that difference. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just ignore it, and we'll move on. We'll enjoy the lesson. So, okay, so the first thing that happens is we're playing without any left hand on the fretboard. So that's the first thing. Let's break that down. So we start with our thumb. This is the first note. Thumb on the 6th string. Okay? Pointer finger on the 4th string. So we do those together, or not together, sorry, in order. 6, 4. Now we're going to take our middle finger and our ring finger on strings 2 and 3, and we're going to pluck both of those at the same time. So all together, we have that going on. Now the only other addition to that is when you pluck strings 2 and 3 at the same time, you're going to also hit the bass note again, or the 6th string. So you're grabbing all of those, and when you play them together, you'll hear the rhythm starting to be created. Listen. Let me do it slower. In fact, this would be a good point to not even bother with your left hand. Watch this little exercise you could do. You could go. See how the thumb is just consistent? So once you can kind of get that, you're really starting to get the rhythm of this thing. Okay, now the next thing that happens is I'm going to do a hammer-on like this. And I'm hammering on with my pointer finger onto the 1st fret 2nd string. My middle finger goes down on the 2nd fret 3rd string, like this. And again, you're just using that middle finger and ring finger to cover those strings 2 and 3. So watch this now. Now as soon as you do that hammer-on, you're going to play another bass note. And when you play them all together now, hear how it's starting to build that rhythm? Okay? Now the next thing that happens is we take that same shape that we pushed down when we did the hammer-on, and we're going to slide everything up 2 frets. So that now our pointer finger is on the 3rd fret 2nd string. Our middle finger is on the 4th fret 3rd string. And after you play that, you're going to play another bass note with your thumb. So together now, you can see how that thumb, do it again. And again, if you're struggling up to this point, just loop it from there until you can get that. Now, I'm making it look easy for if you're new to fingerstyle. You won't be able to do it at that tempo, but you can find a tempo that you can do it at, even if it's really slow. You know, just find where you're comfortable and able to do it kind of fluidly. Okay, so the next thing. So see what happened there? Now, so we're in this position. I would take my middle finger and come up to the 5th fret, 3rd string, and then my pointer finger comes off the fretboard. My ring finger goes down on the 5th fret, 2nd string. So you're playing those 2 strings, and alternate now between when we play these 2 at the same time. The next time will be the bass note. So it's like every other time. See, this is what I mean. So it's this bass. This bass. So if we were to put that together up to that point, we have. And then we're going to play this. So we're going to, after we play that, 2 of those, 1, 2, we're going to come down where we were before we got to that point. So that's, again, your middle finger that's your anchor finger. This one stays down the whole time. Slide it down a fret, middle finger on the 4th fret, 3rd string. Ring finger comes off the fretboard, pointer finger goes back down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. So now we have that first part. Let's put it together. We have. And after you play that, we're going to play another bass note. Okay? And you could just keep looping that. It's kind of fun. And it's really not that difficult to do. It sounds harder than it actually is. So this would be a really good kind of beginner fingerstyle lesson if you're new and this is a good one to start with. Okay. Then I play this little it's kind of like a little lead part. It reminds me of what a bass player would do. Is if they're holding down the fork with just a single note, they'd do a little lick in there to kind of break things up. That lick, the way that I'm doing that, middle finger this time. So let's see. Then I take my middle finger and play on the 4th string, which is that D note. Then I take my pointer finger and play on the 5th string, and watch this. So as soon as I play that note, I'm going to hammer on to the 5th string on the 3rd fret. And then I'm going to play that 4th string again. So together it sounds like this. Then you're back to the 6th string. See how the 2 Ds match? It gives you this real nice kind of, it reminds me of, I don't know, something Greg Allman. There's an Allman Brothers song that has that in there. I can't remember what it is. But so that's the little breakup. So after the little breakup, now keep in mind, you got to keep the rhythm going. Notice I didn't break rhythm. That time I did. So just practice that over and over again. Notice when I do the little, the thumb isn't on the beat for that part. It breaks in that one part. Then it comes right back in. And so the second time through, I do the same thing. I play that part. But the second time through, I play this a different break, and it sounds like this. So the way that I get to that, so you play that, you play your bass note, and then I come up here and play the 3rd string, which is a G string, no jokes, and I use my middle finger for that. And watch this roll. I'm going to do it kind of like a banjo roll with my thumb, pointer finger, and middle finger. Starting here, I use my middle finger for this on the 3rd fret, 5th string. So I start it with that G string, then I play strings 5, 4, 3. And again, it's using thumb on 5, pointer finger on 4, middle finger on 3. Now we're going to walk it down. So it's that same pattern. So it's 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3. And then this note. And what I do for that is I use my middle finger to come down and play on the 3rd fret, 6th string. And I kind of push it, give it a little bit of a, almost like a vibrato, or push it a little bit sharp. Either way you could do it. You don't have to do that. You could play just a note. But my ear tells me it almost gives it a little bit of a, like a country western type thing. So let me put those pieces together now. I'll play through it slowly. We have. Now we're right back. Now to get back, we're going to play the 6th string with our thumb, and the 4th string with our pointer finger. And then we're in position to play that that intro just as we did. So it loops naturally. And you could just take that rhythm and you could create a lot of stuff out of just that. The other nice thing is these little notes, think of these as they're kind of like chords, kind of like a little lead part, somewhere between a lead and a rhythm. But you could rearrange the order of these too. You could, you know, and you could keep going up the fretboard. So you could take that shape, come up here to the 7th fret. You can come up here. You can come up here. So it's really a combination of it. The shape's either going to look like this or it's going to look like the two together. It's going to be one of those two. And you can just keep going up the neck. Your ear will tell you. See? Which is nice because that's another thing about this drop D. It really allows you to improvise. So I came up with, but you could now that you kind of know that you can keep going, you could really spend a lot of time just coming up with really cool rhythms in drop D tuning. Okay, so the second time through, I played this. Kind of a nice little walk down. I'm not sure where I've heard that, but I liked it. It was actually kind of accidental. So let me show you what that is. So that second time through, let me back up. We have that part you already have. Then after that, we're going to come up and we're going to come up to the 7th fret, strings 2 and 3. My middle finger is on, or sorry, ring finger is on the 2nd string, middle finger's on the 3rd string. And we're going to play those two at the same time. Now watch what happens here. This is actually pretty easy to do with your right hand because you're playing the 2 and 3 at the same time and the 6th string. And you're just alternating back and forth between those. So it's... You can see that between each time I do this, I'm playing the bass note. So it makes it easy with the right hand. You're just alternating. It may be slow, like I said in the beginning, but you'll get the kind of groove going at some point, so that's happening right on the beat. All right, let me show you what the fretting with the left hand. So as I mentioned, the 2 on the 7th fret. Now we're going to take the middle. Watch, the middle finger stays anchored here, and we're going to slide it down to the 6th fret 3rd string. We're going to put our pointer finger down on the 5th fret 2nd string to play those two strings. Okay, now watch this. Keep that middle finger anchored. We're going to now slide the middle finger down to the 5th fret 3rd string, and then we're going to put our ring finger down on the 5th fret 2nd string to play those two. And then we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to do it down here now. We're going to keep the middle finger. Notice the middle finger, it stays anchored the whole time. Now it's on the 4th fret 3rd string, and then our pointer finger goes down on the 3rd fret 2nd string. So when you put those pieces together, you're playing this, this, and this. You can see it's just a variation of that same shape. You're just kind of walking it down. All right. And then to get back, I'm going to have to play up to it. Oh, at that last time through, when we play that, we only play one of those. Play the 6th string, and then we're going to play the 4th string to come into that little lick, which puts you right back. And so you could just keep repeating that little progression as many times as you want. So it looks like this to get back. Let me do it slower. back to the thing. Now in the intro, at that point, I played the part 2, the little which I'm going to show you in the second video. But at least that gives you enough to kind of get that rhythm down. Now, if you want, it's a lot easier with the tablature too. So if you go to Active Melody and look for EP085, you can download the tab for this lesson. All right, so that's really all the parts. Let me go through. I'll play through them all together now slowly, and hopefully this gives you everything you need to be able to play this little drop D rhythm. So here we go. And then it just repeats.